Alright, we're back, and on today's episode we're going to be talking about meal prep companies. When you'd use them, positives, negatives, all that kind of stuff. So you personally, have you ever used one before?
No, I haven't.
No?
I tend to cook all my meals just because I like knowing what I'm eating and I don't really know sort of what they've done to it. What about yourself?
I've tried 2 companies actually before in the past just to get a better understanding of, you know, what they taste like, what's in them, etc. I found that some of the positives of having that was having them there as a last resort. I think that's the biggest positive of using a meal prep company is, you know, when you get home, had a lot of stress in the day, cortisol levels are high, that's tend to when you want to eat bad.
And you can also save yourself some time there. Obviously the meals are there, prepped, get it in the microwave, done.
Yeah, so the positives are going to be time. They are a little bit costly. You're looking at anywhere between, depending on how much food you eat in a day and how many days a week you're going to use them, you're looking at anywhere between about 75 to 180 plus. Me personally, I'd be spending close to that 180 plus per week for those meals. So look, if you've got the budget to do something like that, you've got very time restricted, it might be worth going down the path of having them there, putting them in the freezer and then forgetting that they're there. Because, well, if you rely solely upon meals that are done for you, you're not really changing much, are you?
What about some of the negatives of it? What would you say?
Some of them do have high counts of preservatives. Like obviously you're cooking your own veg, cooking your own meat and your own carbohydrates. It is what it is. You know what you've put in there. Look, it's a better alternative to McDonald's, but if you're really going for that serious approach, there is things like certain starches and certain preservatives that have been put into some of them. Not all of them are the same. So I would try to avoid having them as your base food program every single day for the rest of your life, you know. As a short-term habitual change, maybe might help you out. What are some other, the negatives would probably be calorie density.
Calorie density, definitely.
Yeah. So calorie density, what we mean by that is that, let's say you've got a meal that's 500 grams in weight and equals X amount of calories. Usually because it's been filled with some other flavorings and things like that, the calories are a lot higher versus the quantity of food you have. So for the same amount of calories, you could probably have an extra 50 grams of carbohydrate or something like that in your 50 grams of sweet potato, it's probably a better way to say it, in your meal, things like that. Do you have any clients that use meal prep companies?
I used to have a client that did that. Now he's cooking his own food, mainly because he found after a while, you know, it was good, but the pocket was starting to hurt, you know, it was starting to cost him good money, and he could make the same amount of, like, more food for like half the price going down to Coles. Just took him a bit to, you know, get into the kitchen, get used to cooking all the stuff, but in the end, save money, and he knows what he's eating.
So summarise, positives, what do we got? Could be a good short-term thing. Last resort, instead of fast food, it's good to have in the freezer. Any other positives? Well, less time.
Less time,
yeah.
Definitely.
Negatives cost you a lot more. You know, almost triple. I can cook my meals for about $2.90, $3.90.
Yeah.
What else you got negative-wise?
Negatives.
You don't exactly know what's in it if you don't know how to break down ingredients that well. So generally, I would say short-term, okay. Long-term, think of a more sustainable approach.